Hi, my name is Rick Bicker. I go to school at Phillips Community College, and I took speech this semester, and I'm here today to give a speech about speech. What did I expect this semester from speech? Well, I expected to give a bunch of speeches and to learn more about the aspects of public speaking. This semester, we gave 4 speeches, if you count this one. We gave a speech about a speech, a group project, and then a speech over a topic of our choice, and this speech. So what did we learn this semester? Well, we didn't learn as much as we thought it would, and I didn't give as many speeches as I thought I would. But we learned how to target our audience and how to focus on your purpose. The first speech we got to pick from a list of topics, and we gave a speech about a speech. I think that was very interesting to give a speech about something that somebody else had spoke about to help you focus on a main purpose. The second speech we worked on, we got to do a group project, which was very interesting, and I did not expect from this course, because when you think of public speaking, you think of getting up there all by yourself, and I think this helped a lot with my anxiety. I looked forward to giving that speech because I knew I had people by my side. I never thought of the idea of public speaking as doing it from an online format, but I found this also a very interesting way to give a speech. Two very important aspects of public speaking are your purpose and your audience. In order to give a speech, you need to focus on one specific purpose and what you want to get across. Without a purpose, you have no speech. So if you have a purpose, then you can focus on a main point and then help convey that to your audience very cleanly. So that's why it's such an important aspect of public speaking. Another important aspect is your audience. If you know your audience, you can help tailor your speech to make it more interesting to the audience. If you're just very vague and you're very wide stretch, then you're very out there and you're not going to make an interesting speech. You're going to lose the attention of your audience and you're not going to get any points across that you want to make. So if you're giving a speech to high school students, you want to talk about things that high school students can relate to, and you just don't want to be all over the place. So that's why audience is a very important aspect. So without audience and purpose, do you even have a speech? Because if you have no purpose to convey and you have no audience, well then you don't have a speech. So that's why there are two very important aspects of public speaking. According to our textbook, a lot of anxiety is related to preparation when it comes to public speaking. I partially agree with this because when I got ready to give a speech, I was very anxious about giving the speech the whole time. I was just preparing for the speech. Even rehearsing for the speech, I was very nervous because I was filled with anxiety just thinking about getting up there in front of all those people and having all the eyes on me and giving the speech. I partially don't agree with this because I think anxiety also comes with actually giving the speech, not just preparation. Because when you're thinking about it, you get up there and then the anxiety is just building because you're sitting there in front of everybody trying to give the speech and not fumbling all your words. Transitioning online did not change very much on how I approached this class. The only big difference was how I actually got to give the speech. I was still very nervous recording these speeches, and I still found myself with anxiety getting ready and preparing for these speeches, even though I didn't have to give a speech in front of a crowd. So it helped a little getting to do it from home, but it also made it worse because I had to look at myself on the camera while I actually gave the speech. I found this class harder to approach because we didn't actually get to see eye to eye, and we didn't get to approach certain topics, and we had a little less time due to constraints because of coronavirus. I like taking this class online, but I don't think it very much changed the approach to this course. We still got to give our speeches, but just in a little bit of a different manner. I still approach the class the same way as I would when I was gathering information for my speech and putting it together as best as possible. So I don't really think it affected much how this course went this semester. I think the most important thing I learned about public speaking this semester was how to target your audience and tailor it to them so they're interested and you keep their attention. I feel this is an important aspect of speaking so you don't make your speeches boring and that you keep your audience focused. This taught me to try to relate to my audience and keep them interested and how to target a specific group you want to get your point across to instead of making it very broad and general and try to apply to everyone. This semester, I think we could have learned a little bit more on how to prepare for a speech. I think this would help me to be more organized and make my speeches a little bit longer and help me get my points across a little bit better. I think this would have helped my speech's overall performance in this class. What I enjoyed most this semester was getting to do a group speech. I enjoyed getting to collaborate with others to do a speech, and this helped me be less anxious when it came to preparation of the speech. It gave me a little bit of anxiety to know that there was going to be others up there beside me to give the speech, even though we didn't give the speech. I think this was my favorite part of the class because we got to work with others, and I never thought about a speech being with more than one person. So I really enjoyed the creative aspect of the group project and how we got to come up with our own thing. What I didn't like about this class was having to present these speeches through online. I found myself just as nervous having to look at myself on camera while I gave the speech. I found myself struggling with words and fumbling over things that I normally wouldn't. I think one way you could improve this class next semester would be to give the group project first, so that students can overcome their fear of public speaking by having their peers beside them, so they can help understand how to give a speech and not have as much fear about giving the speech. I don't think this project would have to be just like the one that we gave, maybe a little bit less straightforward of a speech, but I think it would really improve the class and help students the next semester. I think some really good advice for students who get nervous next semester is to tell them to rehearse their speech as much as possible. Preparation, I think, is key aspect to any speech. If you want to give a good speech, you must be prepared to give that speech. You should know your speech front and back and be prepared to give that speech. I think you should have more information than necessary in case you forget some things when you're trying to give the speech and to make it on time. Another piece of good advice would be to get plenty of sleep the night before and to try to not get anxious about preparing for your speech. Like the textbook says, anxiety is mostly related to preparation, and I still agree with that. So you should try to get a good night rest before giving your speech, and you should try to focus as much as possible. If you don't sleep the night before, it'll be harder to focus and give the actual speech. Trust me, I know from first-hand experience. I really enjoyed this class, but I found it a little bit more challenging online, and I did not like presenting the speeches in the format of a video. Even though I get to edit them, I still found it harder sitting here having to watch myself online, but I still think this class adequately prepared me for public speaking. I think there's still more I could learn on the topic, but I think it was a good dip of my toes in the water. I enjoyed this class with you, and thank you for your time.